I was talking to my friend from Uzbekistan, and she's a Muslim, right? And I was telling her about how I feel very uncertain about my life lately. Like, I haven't been doing so well emotionally. I've been feeling a little down. And, it was just one of those days where you feel insecure. And I was talking to my friend about that, and she told me, um, had a talk, and while hanging up, she told me, May Allah make it easy for you. And then she hung up. And I was so startled because I never heard something like that. I honestly felt so emotional when I heard that. May Allah make it easy for you. It was like, oh my God, this is such a beautiful thing to say. I cried for 10 minutes. I felt so emotional because it's one thing to, say, may God bless you, may you prosper, may you get all the happiness in the world, may you live the best of your life. And these things, like, these are all such nice blessings. But with this particular one, may Allah make it easy for you, was something that so touched, like, it really touched my heart, because it was like, I am inevitably going to suffer. Suffering is inevitable, failure is inevitable. If it's in my share for this lifetime, I'm going to have to deal with it, I'm going to have to bear it, period. If I am to lose anything that's important for me today, I will lose it irrespective of anything else. But the fact that may Allah make it easy for you, may God make it easy for you, is such a beautiful thing to say. It made me so emotional because it's so true. God can make it easy for me to bear those things. I have to bear it. It's in my share of destiny. I have to bear what I am destined to do, right? But to say that God will make it easy for you, may God make it easy for you, was such a beautiful thing to say. It was almost like God sent those words to me through her mouth. And for her, maybe it doesn't mean anything, but for me, it was such a profound thing to hear from her. And it made me so emotional. And that's so true. Like, God makes it easy for all of us. May God make it easy for us to go through every single life lesson that we are on earth to learn, right? Because we are on earth, we are here to learn lessons. Sufferings teach us. And if it were not to teach us anything, then what's the point? What is all this suffering for? Why are we suffering and failing, and our hearts have been broken over and over in different circumstances? Why? Because there is a learning there. There is a learning lesson there. If there was no learning lesson, God wouldn't put us in circumstances. Have you ever noticed that when you are a person who always attracts toxic friendship, right? When only toxic people, only fake people come to your life, you will keep on attracting the same fake people. You will keep on attracting the same kind of snakes in your life. But the moment you realize, hey, this is the pattern I'm not going to fall for, and you change your priorities, and you're like, I will not look for these qualities in a friendship. I'd rather look for honesty. I'd rather look for, better qualities. My priorities have changed. You will, once you shift your mentality that way, you will start attracting honest people in your life. Why? Because that was a learning lesson for you. The learning lesson was to change your priorities in friendships. I know of people who only are friends with people who are really fun, who are not boring, really fun, partying, and funny and humorous and these things. And that's okay. But then they always get ditched, or they always get dissed, and they're all douchebags. I'm not saying all funny people are douchebags, but the priorities, you see. And then that person is like, okay, now I will look for honest people. And then when the person starts looking for honest people, then they attract honest friendships. And maybe they're not as funny, or maybe that they are funny as well, but the priorities have changed at that point. And it's like, okay, so now I want to look for more honest, more helpful, more loyal friends. And then they meet friends of that sort. So that the lesson in that whole thing was to change your priorities and attract friends that are loyal rather than just fun to be around with, because that's so superficial, right? And when you really trust another person, and when you really can't share so many things with that person, you automatically start having fun and comfortable with the other person anyway. So I'm just talking about what could be a learning lesson at that point, right? Like, even I was watching this video, and the guy over there, like, he is a priest, right? And he was saying that this guy, he has multiple wives. Like, he keeps on remarrying again and again and again and again, and every single of his wife go through surgery, go through lip injection, go through like, eye surgery and nose job and this and that, and start looking exactly the same. So this guy turns every single wife of his exactly the same kind. Big lips, BBL, nose job. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but like that man makes every single wife look the same way. Can you imagine? Like, can you imagine the pattern, right? Like, people clearly have patterns, and if they don't break it, they have not learned anything. They're going to keep making the same mistakes again and again and again and again and never learn from it. I know of men who have had multiple wives, multiple children from each wife, still never learned their lesson. Never. Okay. And that's when the pattern keeps on repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating. And it continues till your old age. Like, it doesn't go away. Do you know how many 60-year-olds are moving around looking out for wives, even though they have multiple wives at their homes? It's 110% true, it happens. So it's like, once you learn your lesson, you will not continue with the pattern and you will get something better. But if you keep on repeating the same patterns over and over and over and over again, you are only going to attract the same kind of people. It goes the same for toxic relationships. It goes the same for any kind of relationship. Unless and until you learn your lesson, God will keep on testing you by bringing the same kind of people until you reject them and say, hey, I don't want this anymore, I'm breaking my pattern. You will keep on meeting the same kind of people, because that's who you are. That's the energy that you're sending out to the universe. Another thing is that you have to go through extreme heartbreak, rock bottom, like extreme downfall, in order to rise above. You have to. It's inevitable. It is inevitable, you guys. When you learn swimming, do you know that you have to dive dive deep into the water, and you have to sink in before coming up and floating or swimming, right? You have to dive deep, you have to sink. That's the part of the process. I was learning this, I was reading this story where, there's this mother, and yeah, she always tells her child to go and fetch water from the well. And she always carries a bucket and fetches the water from the well, right? But there are two paths to the well. One is a thorny pattern, and path, and another is like a very smooth path, very easy to go. And the girl wants to go through the smooth path, but the mother says no, you will go through the rough, thorny path. And the girl is feeling bad, right? Why is my mom asking me to go through the rough path? But the mother is very persistent about it, so she chooses the rough path. And after 50 times, 100 times going through the rough, thorny parts, her muscles, like her feet, skin of her feet, becomes insensitive to the thorns, and now she can walk on the thorns easily. Then one day there's a storm that comes in the village, and the smooth path washes away. So now the mother is like, see, the smooth path has been washed away. Now you can um, all you can walk from the rough path very easily, because you've been walking through it all your life. And then the girl realizes, okay, my mom wanted me to learn to walk through the rough path that had thorns in it, because it was essential when tough times came. And the mother was like, yes. So the daughter had absolutely no problem drinking water, right? And I think that's what God does to us, especially the ones that are his favorite child. He gives a lot of trouble to his favorite child, for the child to learn something. Whenever you're going through something, remember that there is a lesson there. Try to find the lesson. Whenever someone scams you and takes away your money and leaves you broken, remember that, what can I learn from this? God wants me to learn something from this. This is a learning lesson. What is it that I need to learn? They took their money. They took my money. Fine, whatever. God will give them what they deserve. I don't care. They will go through good or bad. It's their share of destiny. What can I learn? It's about you. This life is about you. This life is about, like, you are the main character of your life. Someone betraying you or cheating on you, maybe your long partner, like, you've been with your partner for years, maybe 7 years, 10 years, and then she ends up cheating on you. Let her be. Let her be. Don't say anything. Don't curse her. Don't say anything, or don't even try to tell him that he will have a very bad life and he will never get someone better. No, it's his loss. No, not nothing. Leave it. Let them go. Let them have their own share of life. Maybe good or bad will happen to them. Because when you wish for something bad to happen to them, what if they become millionaires tomorrow? You will be heartbroken. Let them be. Even if they become a king of a country, it doesn't matter. It's about you. This life is about you. If someone does something wrong to you and everyone praises them, everyone says good things to them, you will feel hurt because there is an expectation there. There is an expectation that um, they have to get the treatment, they have to get the taste of their medicine, but that's not life all the time. Really good things happen to bad people a lot of times, and that's on them. God has planned for them. It doesn't matter. Trust the process, trust God. This life is about you. If someone wrongs you, but still gets all the appreciation, it doesn't matter. What can you learn from it? How can you evolve? How will you become a better person? It's all about you. It's all about you. It has nothing to do with them. Let them go. Let them have the best of their lives. Let them have the worst of their lives. Come to a point of indifference. It's all about you. All about you. I i honestly believe that all the suffering that I went through, I had to go through that to be this person today. Because if it was not for those sufferings, I wouldn't be where I am today. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't be as empathizing person. I wouldn't be as good of a person. I think if I was born in the same scenario that I am right now, like I'm in a very better place. If I was born in this scenario, and if I lived my whole childhood in this situation, when I went to village and saw people living an unhygienic life, using the toilets, not Indian style toilets, and having difficulty in hygienic toilets, and washing clothes in the rivers, and very villagers kind of life, if I saw that, I would be disgusted. I would be like, yuck. But because I have lived that life as a village girl, I have lived like that. I have seen that life with myself, and as a child I used to live like that. I don't feel disgusted. I empathize them fully, and I know what life is like for them because I've lived it. I needed to see that. I needed to experience that firsthand in order to have that empathy in me. So that was a learning lesson for me. That suffering was a teaching for me in order to be who I am today. And when I was fighting poverty, when I had no money, when my family had no money, that phase of my life was to understand the value of money, so that now when I have money, I can give it to people. I can help them. And I never have, by God's grace, ever failed to help anyone that I see. And if I have money, I always do. I uh, I have given, donations to children for their education, for their health, medical facilities, and all. Since the day I started earning by myself, I have always done that. I have always, bought dresses and nice things to children who can't afford it in Christmas and Diwali, because I really, really, really believe that the more you give, the more you receive. And I remember this quote by Anna Frank that said, um, nobody has ever become poor by giving. And that's true. Nobody is ever poor by giving. Nobody. I have only because I can give. What's the point of me earning? What's the point of me having this privileged life if I can't help someone else? It doesn't mean anything. Even if I have millions of rupees worth property, but I cannot help someone for thousands or lakhs, I don't need that money. I don't deserve that money. I'm not rich. I am stingy. And I do not like stingy people. I like to give because I have, and the more I give, the more I will have, and I really believe in that. And I think I learned this lesson because of the sufferings I went through, because of the circumstances I went through, because I had no friends in school and college, because I was bullied, because I didn't I lived my whole life almost alone. For the same reasons, I now know the value of friends. I now know what it feels like for other people to be bullied, and I don't take it for granted. I now know the seriousness of situation, because if I just heard bullying and this and that, but I never really experienced it, I wouldn't be this empathetic. I know because I experienced it, and that was a lesson for me. God had to put me through it in order to make me the person I am, to teach me lessons. And that's the thing. That's the essence of suffering, ladies and gentlemen. And I just hope that you learn from your lesson. You learn from your mistakes. You learn from all the lessons that life throws at you, so that you become better people. So that God blesses you with something more beautiful, with something more fruitful. Once you've learned your lesson, trust me, God gives you so much more. God is so generous. And I want to end this video with a quote that I read by Khalid Hosseini that says, cruelty and benevolence are but the shades of the same color. And that's so true. Sometimes you have to be cruel in order to teach people lessons, and in order to be benevolent, in order to be kind, you have to be cruel as well, because it's for the for the bigger picture, and God knows the bigger picture more than we ever do. So that's the thing. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope God blesses you and fills your life with all the beauty, love, positivity, and wealth. That's it. Bye bye.